She ran barefoot through the rain, clutching her dying child, only to be told no deposit, no treatment. As her daughter's breathing slowed in her arms, she collapsed on the hospital steps, ready to give up, until a shadow fell over her, and everything changed. Anna's bare feet slapped against the wet pavement, each step sharp against the cold ground. Rain lashed against her face, blinding her, but she didn't stop, not when Lily's tiny arms hung limp around her neck, not when her daughter's burning skin scorched against her own. "Stay with me, baby, please," Anna choked out, her breath ragged. Lily's chest rose weakly, each breath shallower than the last. She burst through the hospital doors like a storm, her soaked clothes clinging to her trembling body. "Help!" she screamed, her voice breaking. "Somebody, please! My daughter's dying!" Anna stumbled forward, collapsing at the reception desk. "She needs a doctor," she begged, clutching Lily tighter, feeling her daughter's fragile heartbeat faltering against her chest. "Please, do something!" The receptionist looked up from her desk slowly, her expression flat and almost annoyed. She pushed her glasses up her nose, peered at Anna, and said in an emotionless tone, "Calm down, ma'am. What's her name?" "Lily! Her name is Lily!" Anna gasped, clutching her tighter. "She has a fever. I think it's getting worse. Please, you have to help her." The receptionist typed lazily on her keyboard, not even glancing at the child. After a moment, she looked back at Anna and said flatly, "Initial deposit is $500. No deposit, no treatment." Anna froze. Her mouth went dry. "What?" "You heard me," the receptionist said, unfazed. "No deposit, no treatment. That's hospital policy." Anna felt her stomach drop. I don't have that much right now." She voice broke. "Please, she's just a child. She can't breathe. Look at her." She held her up, her little head lolling weakly against her shoulder. The receptionist's face remained cold. "Ma'am, this is a private hospital. If you can't pay, you'll have to take her to County General. They take emergency cases." Anna's breath caught. County General was across town, at least a 45-minute drive, and she didn't even own a car. "No," Anna whispered, shaking her head violently. "No, no, 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 please. I'm begging you." She stumbled forward, tears streaming down her rain-soaked face. "She's my only child. I'll pay. I swear I'll pay later. Please don't let her die." But the receptionist only shrugged and looked away, her attention returning to her computer screen as though her pleas meant nothing. Anna dropped to her knees, clutching Lily tightly against her chest, sobbing uncontrollably. Her shoulders shook violently, her cries filling the lobby. People in the waiting area looked up briefly, pity flickering across their faces, but no one moved. "God!" Anna choked, rocking her daughter gently. "Please, don't take her from me. Please!" Lily stirred faintly, her tiny lips trembling as she whispered, barely audible, "Mommy." Anna's heart shattered. She pressed her lips against Lily's damp forehead and cried harder. The receptionist cleared her throat sharply. "Ma'am, you can't stay there. You're disturbing the lobby. Please step outside." Anna looked up at her with disbelief. "Disturbing the lobby? My daughter is dying." But the woman turned away. Anna staggered to her feet and stumbled out into the rain, her vision blurred by tears. She collapsed just outside the hospital doors, clutching Lily close, rocking her back and forth. The icy rain soaked both of them, but Anna didn't care. Her mind spun. What could she do? Where could she go? Every passing second felt like a countdown toward disaster. And then a shadow fell over her. She blinked, rain dripping down her face, and saw a pair of polished black shoes stop in front of her. A large umbrella blocked the rain above her head. Slowly she looked up. A man in a dark suit stood before her. He was tall, his broad shoulders filling his jacket perfectly. His face was partially shadowed, but his eyes were sharp, calm, and piercing. He crouched down slightly, speaking in a voice that was firm but not unkind. "What's wrong with her?" Anna swallowed hard, still trembling. She's sick," she whispered, barely able to speak. "High fever. She can't breathe well.
The hospital. They won't take her. They want money. I don't have it." The man's jaw tightened. Without a word, he stood, walked past her, and pushed open the glass doors. Anna blinked, stunned, as rain poured over her shoulders. What was he doing? Moments later, nurses rushed out with a sterature. "Ma'am, quickly, put her here!" Anna gasped, barely able to comprehend what was happening. They gently lifted Lily from her arms, checking her vitals rapidly. "Get her inside now!" a nurse barked. Anna stumbled in after them, her mind spinning.
Inside, she saw him again. The man. He stood at the reception desk, calm and composed, handing his credit card to the stunned receptionist. "Admit the child," he said firmly. Anna's breath caught. She stared at him, her heart pounding. Who was he? Why would he do that? A nurse touched her arm gently. "Ma'am, please follow me. We're taking your daughter to the emergency ward." Anna snapped out of her daze and rushed after them. Her heart pounded as she trailed the stretcher down the bright white hallway. The smell of antiseptic stung her nose, and the sounds of monitors beeping made her chest tighten even more. Lily looked so small, lying there on the stretcher with an oxygen mask over her face. Anna reached out and clutched her tiny hand as they wheeled her into a room filled with machines and hurried nurses. "Wait here," a doctor instructed, stepping in front of her. "We'll stabilize her first." Anna hesitated, her eyes darting to Lily. Please, can I stay with her?" "Not right now," the doctor replied gently. "We need space to work. I promise, we'll take good care of her." Anna's knees wobbled, but she nodded weakly. Her hands fell limp at her sides as she watched them close the door behind her. She felt hollow, like her insides had been scooped out and replaced with fear. She stumbled back to the waiting area, still dazed, and sat down heavily in one of the plastic chairs. Her soaked clothes left a damp patch on the seat beneath her, but she didn't care. Her eyes found him immediately. The stranger, still standing calmly by the reception desk, now slipping his wallet back into his coat pocket. He turned then, as if sensing her gaze, and their eyes locked. Anna's breath hitched. He walked toward her slowly, his stride steady, confident. There was something about him, an air of control, of quiet authority, that made her pulse quicken. When he reached her, he stopped and tilted his head slightly. "Your daughter is going to be fine," he said evenly, his voice deep and composed. Anna's breath trembled. Why would you do that?" Her voice cracked, raw from crying. "You don't even know me. You paid for everything. I don't understand." He didn't answer immediately. He simply looked at her, his expression unreadable, then gestured to the empty seat beside her. "Sit," he said gently. Anna hesitated, then sank back into her chair, too drained to argue. He remained standing, his hands tucked casually into his pockets as he looked down at her. "I don't do this for everyone," he said finally. "But I couldn't walk past a mother crying in the rain holding her child." His eyes softened slightly. "It reminded me of something I can't forget." Anna blinked at him, confused. "What do you mean?" For a moment he didn't reply. His gaze drifted toward the window, where rain still streaked down the glass in silver trails. Then he looked back at her, his expression calm but pointed. "Do you really not remember me?" Anna frowned, caught off guard. "What?" He studied her face, almost as if searching for recognition in her eyes. "I'm Michael," he said simply. Anna stared blankly at him, the name ringing faintly familiar but distant, like an echo from another lifetime. Michael sighed softly, his lips curling into a faint, ironic smile. "High school? Senior year? You used to call me the broke kid who'd never make it." Her heart jolted. Images flashed in her mind. An awkward boy with second-hand clothes and downcast eyes, always sitting alone at lunch. A boy who was quiet, reserved, and who she and her friends had teased mercilessly without thinking twice. Her stomach churned. You're Michael Harris?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. He nodded once. Anna's breath caught in her throat. "Oh my God, She pressed a trembling hand to her lips. Michael's gaze didn't waver. "It's been a long time," he said quietly. Anna's face flushed hot despite the cold dampness of her clothes. Shame clawed at her insides. She remembered the things she had said back then, cruel words thrown carelessly, never imagining they would linger. Her voice faltered. "I didn't, Michael, I was just a kid. I didn't mean—" He raised a hand slightly, silencing her. "You don't have to explain," he said calmly. "I know exactly what it was. I remember every word. And yet—" His voice trailed off, and for a moment, silence hung heavy between them. Anna's heart pounded in her chest. Her mind raced. This man, this stranger who'd saved her daughter, was the same boy she had humiliated years ago without a second thought.
And now, here he was, successful, composed, powerful in a way that radiated from him effortlessly. And instead of turning away, instead of leaving her in the rain like she once left him in mockery, he'd helped her. Why? The question slipped from her lips in a trembling whisper. Why would you help me after everything I said to you back then? Michael's eyes held hers steadily. There was no anger there, no bitterness, only something deeper, harder to read. "Because," he said softly, "your daughter doesn't deserve to suffer for your mistakes, and because I promised myself a long time ago that no matter how people treated me, I'd never let it turn me cruel." Anna's eyes blurred with tears. Her chest tightened painfully. Michael's expression softened just slightly. "I don't want your gratitude, Anna. I just want you to take care of that little girl. That's all that matters tonight." Anna covered her face with her hands, a sob escaping her lips. She couldn't remember the last time she'd felt this way, so overwhelmed, so humbled, so raw. And then, through her tears, she whispered, "Thank you, Michael, thank you." He said nothing, only gave a faint nod and stepped back, his hands still calmly in his pockets. Just then, the doctor appeared in the hallway. "Anna Parker?" She shot up from her chair instantly. "Yes, is she? How is she?" The doctor smiled faintly. "She's stable. Her fever's coming down. She's going to be okay." Anna's knees almost gave out. Relief crashed over her like a tidal wave. She pressed hand to her chest, gasping out a choked laugh as tears of joy mingled with rainwater on her cheeks. "Can I see her?" she asked breathlessly. "Of course." Anna followed the doctor down the corridor, her heart pounding with relief and anticipation. When she stepped into Lily's room, her breath caught in her throat. There she was, her little girl, lying in the hospital bed, an oxygen mask gently over her nose and mouth, her tiny chest rising and falling steadily now. Anna rushed to her side and clutched her daughter's small hand. "Oh, baby," she whispered, tears streaming. "Mommy's here. You're safe now." Lily stirred faintly, her eyelids fluttering open. "Mommy?" Anna kissed her forehead tenderly. "Shh, sweetheart, just rest." The nurse smiled. "She's lucky you brought her in when you did." Anna nodded, then glanced toward the door and saw Michael standing there, leaning casually against the frame, hands in his pockets, his expression calm but unreadable. The nurse excused herself, leaving them alone. Michael stepped in quietly. Anna rose to her feet, wiping her cheeks. "Michael, I don't even know what to say." He gave a faint, wry smile. "You already said thank you. That's enough." "No, it's not," Anna said, her voice trembling. "You saved her life. After how I treated you back then, you should have walked right past me." Michael's gaze softened. "Sit," he said, motioning to the chair. She sat, and he pulled a chair close. For a moment there was only Lily's steady breathing. "Do you know what it's like to be 17, sitting in a classroom where everyone laughs at you?" Anna's chest tightened. She looked down, unable to meet his eyes. "Michael," he continued calmly, "you don't have to answer. I remember every detail. The way I wore the same shoes for 2 years because my parents couldn't afford new ones. The way I sat in the back of the room so no one would notice me. And still," he let out a faint chuckle with no humor in it, "you noticed me." Anna swallowed hard. "I was a stupid kid," she whispered. "I didn't know the damage I was doing."
Michael tilted his head slightly. Words stick, Anna. You told me once I'd never be anything more than the broke kid who dreams too big. Do you remember that? Anna's breath caught. She did remember. Faintly, painfully. A careless remark in the hallway, tossed out to impress her friends. She never imagined he'd hold on to it. I didn't know you heard me. Oh, I heard, Michael replied, his voice low but steady. And you know what? You were right about one thing. Anna looked up sharply, her brows knitting. What? I did dream big, he said simply. And that day, I promised myself something. That one day, I'd prove every single one of you wrong. Not out of anger, but because I refused to stay the person you thought I was. Anna stared at him, her chest aching. He leaned forward slightly, his elbows resting on his knees. I worked 3 jobs through college. Every time I wanted to quit, I heard those words in my head. Yours. And they pushed me harder. Anna's eyes blurred. Michael, but here's the thing, he interrupted gently. I don't hate you. Not anymore. If anything, I should thank you. You showed me who I never wanted to be. Anna's tears spilled over. I don't deserve your kindness. Maybe not. But your daughter does. That's why I help. Anna sobbed quietly. For a moment, he simply sat there, steady and calm. He looked at Lily. When I saw her in your arms tonight, I saw myself, the boy who wished someone would step in. Anna wiped her face. Real success isn't revenge. It's peace. It's liking who you see in the mirror. Anna's heart clenched. I want to be better for her, for myself. He smiled faintly. Then start now. Lily stirred, her fingers twitching in Anna's palm. Sweetheart. Anna leaned in. Mommy? Lily whispered weakly. The man, he helped us? Anna smiled softly. Yes, baby, he did. Lily turned toward Michael. Thank you, she murmured. Michael crouched beside her. You're welcome, kiddo. Just get better, okay? She nodded and drifted back to sleep. Michael stood. She's safe now. That's all I came for. Anna stepped forward. Wait, you didn't just save my daughter. You changed me too. He gave a faint smile. That's enough for me. He turned toward the exit, his footsteps echoing down the hallway. Michael, she called out. He paused, glancing back. You showed me real strength, not revenge. Forgiveness. I'll never forget this. He nodded. We all have a past. What matters is what we do now. One day, you'll see someone else standing in the rain, and when you do, you'll know what to do. Anna's voice broke. I will. He opened his umbrella. Goodbye, Anna. Goodbye, Michael. And just like that, he was gone, disappearing into the drizzle outside. Anna stood there for a long moment, her heart heavy but lighter than it had been in years. She returned to Lily's room, stroked her daughter's hair, and whispered, We're going to be okay now. Sometimes life has a way of bringing people back to us, not to reopen old wounds, but to teach us something new. Michael could have turned away. He could have held on to anger, but instead, he chose compassion. And in doing so, he didn't just save a child's life. He reminded a mother of what truly matters, that the strongest hearts are not the ones that hold grudges, but the ones that forgive and still choose kindness. What would you have done if you were Michael? Do you think he did the right thing? Write your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read them. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because another powerful story is coming soon, one that will move you even deeper. Thank you for watching Tales by Clara. Until next time, stay blessed.